640.
Panic and shock turn to mourning. Tonight, we're remembering the 3 women killed by a Sacramento Army veteran they tried to heal. It was a hostage standoff with the worst possible outcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Allie Wolf.
And I'm Joe Khalil. Tonight, we are learning more about the gunman and his possible motive for killing the 3 women. Authorities say that the man who barged into a goodbye party at the Yountville Veterans Home yesterday is 36-year-old Albert Wong. You're getting a look at him right there. Now, 2 weeks ago, Wong was reportedly kicked out of the program run by the Pathway Home. It's a nonprofit that operates at the Veterans Home and helps Iraq and Afghan war vets specifically get back into civilian life. Also tonight, CNN's reporting that the reason Wong had been kicked out of that program was because he threatened one of the women he ended up killing.
And the victims are Christine Lober, Jennifer Gonzalez, and Jennifer Golick. You're looking at them on your screen. They all worked at the Pathway Home. The mayor of Yountville says each of these women will be remembered as beautiful people.
Jennifer Gonzalez was 29 years old and she was 7 months pregnant. She's being remembered by friends for her commitment to both her family and her job. She was married a year ago here in Sacramento, and she was supposed to travel to Washington, D.C. this weekend to celebrate her wedding anniversary. Christine Lober, she was the executive director of the Pathway Home. Friends say that she was intelligent, delightful, outgoing, charming. Just a few words that they used to describe her there. She dedicated her life to helping veterans with PTSD, and earlier today, the Yountville mayor, John Dunbar, described just how dedicated she was to that program.
The fact that she would sleep in her office more often than not because she had to be here for covering a shift overnight if another staff member couldn't be. She moved from Petaluma to Napa so she could be close to the program and be on call at all times. Mayor, and so that's the kind of personal dedication that she showed all of us.
And the third victim is Jennifer Golick, the clinical director of the Pathway Home. Golick's father-in-law told the Associated Press that yesterday she called her husband to tell him she'd been taken hostage by the former soldier. He didn't hear from his wife again. Golick graduated from UC Davis in 1998. And as we mentioned, the gunman, Albert Wong, lived here in Sacramento.
Investigators are saying that he rented a car and then drove to Yountville Veterans Home. Fox 40's Doug Johnson has more on his history in the military and what his neighbors are saying tonight.
One of our heroes who clearly had demons that resulted in the terrible tragedy that we all experienced here.
Yountville Mayor John Dunbar describing Albert Wong, the gunman in Friday's deadly hostage standoff at the Veterans Home of California, served as an infantryman in the U.S. Army. From April 2011 till March 2012, he did a tour of duty in Afghanistan, earning several honors, including campaign stars for fighting global terrorism and marksmanship, as well as an Army Good Conduct Medal and an Army Commendation Medal. The 36-year-old was getting treatment for PTSD at the Pathway Home up until 2 weeks ago. He was reportedly kicked out of the program for threatening one of the employees. Public records show Wong was also licensed as a security guard and security trainer, and he was also issued a firearms permit from the Bureau of Security.
You can be living next to a monster and not know it.
Property records show Wong lived in this home on Redwood Avenue in North Sacramento. While nobody answered the door, neighbors confirmed Wong had been staying in the home in the past month, but they described him as more of a visitor than a resident.
Who would have assumed that it would trace back here to my neighborhood?
Family friends declined to comment to Fox 40, but many who live on the street, like Stephanie Vallejos, are surprised.
My daughter lives here, and it's a neighborhood that my grandkids are in, and it's sad that somebody like that lives in this neighborhood.
Now, as investigators try to make sense of what Albert Wong did on Friday, the California Department of Veteran Affairs says their focus is now about moving forward.
Our hearts are heavy for the over 900 veterans that call this place home, and for the hundreds of people that work here every day to create a loving, caring environment where veterans in the final years of their lives can live a life of dignity, comfort, and safety.
In Sacramento, Doug Johnson, Fox 40 News.
All right, we've also learned from CNN tonight that Wong had at least 7 guns registered in his name.
And President